With the 20th anniversary for cars coming next year in 2026, we're all wondering what Mattel is going to do to celebrate through the Disney Cars diecast line. Now, in 2021, for the 15th anniversary, they presumably gave us the racing reds you see in the background and that golden Rust-eze Lightning McQueen promo. Now, I say presumably because they didn't really tell us. It's not like they put on the packaging 15th anniversary. And why does that annoy me so much? You guys probably wonder, why does just a little packaging detail annoy you so much? Just be grateful they gave us some special, almost chase-like cars. Well, it bothers me because they clearly are capable of doing it. They're doing it for the Minecraft stuff. I mean, I don't understand. It baffles me. It bothers me. It worries me because I'm afraid the 20th anniversary might get glossed over a bit too, and it is so significant, so much more so than 15, 20 years, 2 decades of a diecast line from the movies. Oh my God, I hope they do it right. But today we're kind of going to go back to the 15th anniversary here with an actual really new factory custom. It's strange. There's a lot going on here. You guys might be like, that looks like Dex from Heavy Metal Mayor, and you may very well be correct. This is a new factory custom that just started to be sold on eBay from China and AliExpress over the last 6 months or so, so maybe not new in everyone's eyes, but in my opinion, it's a really cool factory custom because I am going to classify it as a racing red 15th anniversary Tex Dinoco, because at the end of the day, that is the mold. That is the expression that we got. And if you go through all the details, it fits Tex more than it does Dex. Now, you, again, could say they are just doing a knockoff attempt at Dex. That's why it's not all perfect. The expression's different. The cow pattern print on the vinyl top is different. The wheels are silver instead of gold. It's a knockoff. Obviously, things are going to be different, and they just did not do a great job emulating what Dex should look like. And I can get behind that. I can understand that. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But isn't it just way more fun to think that the factory customizers were like, hey, let's do a racing red Tex Dinoco? Yeah. So that's what we're going to roll with, guys. Take it or leave it. Let's get into the video here. This is a part of the bonus 12 Days of Christmas daily videos for the rest of 2024. If you haven't heard, it's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check out all the previous ones. Yeah, so Racing Red, Factory Custom, Tex Dinoco. We should do a side-by-side comparison here with just regular Tex Dinoco. It's probably, it probably makes the most sense that way. But of course, he does have the plastic Longhorn there on his hood, which looks great. Pretty much identical grills and expressions there. Green eyes, maybe a little bit smaller, but in the same position there. And instead of gold metallic paint, which, yeah, it is very sparkly, you get this kind of soft maroon red paint, and it also is kind of metallic. You can see that it is sparkly. Now, you can tell this for sure is a factory custom with some quality issues, like the silver not fully coming all the way to the right side there. It wore off a little bit. That's a little unfortunate, but I did buy a couple of these just because you never know what factory customs are going to become extremely rare. It's funny. I always tell the story. The gold chrome King factory custom used to be an easy $10 snag. There were hundreds of them available, and then all of a sudden one day, like that, they're gone. And now they're hundreds of dollars. Instead of there being hundreds of them available, you have to give up hundreds of dollars just to get one. Now, probably won't happen to this guy, but it might, and actually it could become rare. I don't think it would become that rare because a gold chrome King is way cooler than a maybe racing red Tex Dinoco, probably just a Dex knockoff. You know what I mean? Now, he doesn't have the chrome wheels, which would be kind of cool, but I can get behind these gray wheels, like almost a gunmetal, and they look a little weathered. Like, it's not like it's a perfectly smooth gray. And of course, like I showed you on Dex, they're supposed to be gold with the chrome trim. So in some way, that makes me feel more confident that this is a racing red attempt because of how much kind of gray and silver you get on the racing reds. You can see here on Jackson, that's just one example. All of them have features like that. Now, the one thing that maybe isn't a great indicator that it's supposed to be racing red Tex is that they didn't make the roof here like a silver or a chrome. They made it gold, which does kind of harken back to those gold rims. And that's, yeah, the one thing that kind of throws a wrench in it. This really should be like a chrome or a silver like we see on the rest of the racing reds, but it still looks really cool. The fact that they did make it gold and then make the cow spots red, I think that's pretty awesome. It's like, wow, what the hell? Factory customizers getting creative here instead of just some of the weird stuff they do, making a green and white tractor. I mean, come on. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty top tier, even if it is a byproduct of just some random, I don't want to say stupidity, but almost just blissful, happy-go-lucky, yeah, let's hodgepodge some things together and see what pops out on the other end. But you do have this nice Dinoco license plate and a thinner, larger font there. Everything else, though, the same with the silver taillights and bumper. Really cool. Really cool. Let's take a look at the base here. Made in China. Simple enough. Nice and smooth. Can't get any better than that. This is my Tex Dinoco, a relatively newer one because of all the writing. If you had like a 2007 or 8 Tex Dinoco, this would be way simpler. But yeah, 1718 EA, so the 171st day of 2018 at the EAA factory. By the way, yesterday when I was doing my Thailand Greta and Edwin Cranks video, and I completely poorly guessed on when my Greta was produced, when I was guessing the date stamp and all that, I realized that that Greta came from the Jonas Rivera 3-pack that aligns perfectly with that production stamp, right? Because the single releases of her are way spread out. You know, you have like a 2019 one, you have the 2014 one, so they're super spread out. So it definitely was that 3-pack. Now let's do a little comparison though here to Dex after we get out of that little side tangent. I've always really loved Dex's expression. I like how the mouth is open and it dips down so low. And the eyes are just way happier looking. It really does look like how he looks when he comes in and meets Heavy Metal Mater. Well, at that point, he wasn't Heavy Metal Mater. He was just Mater. And then some pity comes in and says, where you want this Heavy Metal Mater? You guys remember that? Isn't that so clever? I do like that the taillights are actually on the sides of these fins on this Cadillac. That's just kind of a cool feature. Now, Dex always had this Dinoco license plate as well. Does that hint that the tunes are just Mater's dreams and imaginations and fantasies because he is thinking of Tex Dinoco and Tex Dinoco takes the form of Dex in his dream? That's why the license plate's that way. Or is it just because Mattel's lazy and they put the same license plate on cars that have the same model, like we learned with Edwin Cranks yesterday? Now let's compare Racing Red Tex to a couple other Racing Reds. And in the background, you'll see a couple custom Racing Reds as well. You might be like, whoa, what the hell is that doing back there? That wasn't released in 2021. But this one, sir, was. This was Lightning McQueen. This was the last one that they did. And you could see all the silver chrome detailing that would make sense for this roof here to be silver chrome. But he still does have a bunch of silver chrome through the bumpers and the wheels and all that stuff. So, like I said, I really do like this factory custom. It's one of the better ones. And just different, you know, because you do get so many, like, McQueen variations, like a yellow McQueen, a white McQueen. And you're just kind of like, all right, I'm tired of that. Like, we get enough McQueen variants as it is. Gives us something different. And this really is the epitome of something different. Here you have Francesco Bernoulli that has a lot of black on him. And he's really the only one besides Jackson that has so much black in terms of pieces or parts of him that got painted that way. Here is Jackson, yeah, with the black wing there. Jackson's such a great racing red because of how they texturize this S, and it feels rough. In the good way, of course, in the good way. And they removed his racing rookie, or the rookie stripes, the rookie yellow stripes. Probably a wise decision. The rarest. I tried to combine rarest and racing in the one word there. You guys know I like to do that. The rarest racing red, Mater here, and he was actually the first racing red as well. But the case that he was in, I think it was case B of 2021 with Will Rush and Luigi and Guido with that checkered flag, just became extremely rare. For whatever reason, this is your rarest racing red, but he's kind of hovered around the $90 to $100 price range, which is, doable. I think that he's plateaued a little bit. Like some of these cars, they get rare, and then they get like uber rare. Racing Red Mater got like super duper rare for, just a standard retail release, and he's just kind of stayed there. He hasn't reached heavenly celestial numbers yet, which is good. He's still somewhat attainable. And, I know some people are like, $100 for one car, that's not attainable. Yeah, but relative to other cars that have gone rare, like Jim Reverick or, a Flip Dover, at least back before that re-release from Thailand, I mean, there are cars out there that are in the multiple $100 range. But as for the custom racing reds, I have a custom racing red Fabulous Hudson Hornet here from Daro Design that I reviewed a while ago. It's actually probably almost been like 4 years exactly that I reviewed this guy, or maybe it's been 3, but I did review him right after the 12 Days of Christmas, I think. Like it was a late December upload, which would be crazy if it was like 4 years to the day. I'm going to look it up after that video. That would be such a crazy coincidence, but this is such a cool custom. And then the other one here is a factory custom, a rare one of Nigel Gearsley. And this chrome, though, matches perfectly the chrome on like Mater. That's what makes this Nigel Gearsley so cool, is that it really could fit in as a racing red. The only thing is that he does have all of his other decals still in full color, whereas they should be transitioned to that silver chrome. So that's the only thing with him that throws him off from being a racing red Nigel that kind of preceded the racing red line as a whole. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Just imagine what a racing red Mrs. the King would look like. Just so much metallic red with no decals. That would be so awesome. Unfortunately, probably we'll never get that, but one can hope. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed. Bye now.